premier cable news station, the ABS-CBN News Channel, AMC. News is our business.
Welcome to this week's Tech Talk. This week we are going to take an insider look on a mobile satellite communication with Mr. Mark Carluen, who is the marketing director of ACES Philippines. Good morning, Mr. Carluen. Thank you for joining us. Okay, maybe you can start by telling us more about satellite communications, because most of us only see satellite phones on in movies or read about them in books.
Well, the right term for the technology is actually called GMPCS, which stands for Global Mobile Personal Communications via Satellite.
Okay, GMPCS.
Now, yeah, that's right. Simply put, GMPCS is actually using the satellite to transmit signals, to and from a mobile phone.
And meaning there's a dedicated satellite out there in outer space that you use to transmit signals from your phone.
That's correct.
For you to be able to make calls.
That's right.
What's the advantage of using satellite?
Well, the main advantage of using a satellite is that the coverage of the satellite and the reach is actually very wide. So, in areas where you don't have conventional cellular signals, you can actually make a call and be called.
Okay, so this means that even if you're in the wilderness or on isolated islands out there, you can make calls.
That's right.
And you can be called.
That's right. Even out at sea, for example, if you own a yacht, you're sports fishing or something, you can actually, this is actually a very, very useful tool for you.
In other words, you have no dead spots.
Yeah, that's practically.
You have to listen to this. No dead spots. All right. And the ACES Philippines is the company that is going to launch a satellite phone in the near future.
It's actually in the very near future, because we're actually planning to launch this month.
Okay.
Commercially in the market.
And this satellite phone is going to support, of course, it's a sat phone, the GMPCS system, as well as the GSM system.
That's right.
It's a dual phone.
Yeah, the system that we're launching actually is, the beauty of it is that our phone actually is a dual mode phone.
Okay.
Which can actually shift from GSM to satellite instantaneously. So if you're within the coverage area of GSM, for example, like the smart communications, you can use the phone as an ordinary GSM phone.
Okay.
And once you're out of the coverage, you have the option to use a satellite mode.
And so this actually makes it a lot cheaper for users, because you don't always have to use a satellite.
That's right.
And you mentioned smart communications. Smart is your carrier for the GSM mode?
That's right. Yeah, because ACES Philippines is actually a 100% subsidiary of PLDT.
Okay.
And so is Smart.
Okay.
So we're tying up with Smart right now as partners to be able to provide the duality of dual mode of satellite phone.
And the other advantage of using a satellite phone, I suspect, would be during times when infrastructure or the usual infrastructure would not be working, like calamities, earthquakes.
I think that's one of the niche, in terms of situational events. Calamities like earthquakes can probably bring your regular communications down, like cell sites and probably cables and everything. But with the satellite phone, you can always count on, your cell site in the sky.
Yes. But I've been hearing a lot about sat phones and companies that have been launching sat phones in the Philippines, and this is not the first time that the market's being exposed to this. But I understand that these companies have not really been able to penetrate the market that well. What makes ACES or your service different?
I think the bottom line issue here is about pricing.
Okay.
The difference of the ACES system is that we are utilizing a technology that is actually bringing down the cost of our operating expense to be able to offer the service and the handsets at very affordable rates.
How do you do this?
Our technology actually utilizes a geosynchronous satellite, which only has one satellite up there
Okay.
covering the whole of Asia.
All right. As against what kind of satellites used
Well,
by other...
most other satellite systems, like for example, Iridium, in the past, they have about 66 satellites.
Okay.
So in terms of
Cost a lot,
investment,
yes.
you know, operating expense and capital expenditures, they're way, way above the level.
Why are you able to just use one satellite?
But because of the technology, it's geosynchronous, so the geosynchronous satellites normally occupy the highest orbital slot.
Okay, so supposing this is the Earth, you have several slots, right?
Yeah.
And the geosynchronous system is at the highest, as against the system used by the other
That's right.
sat phone companies, which is lower. And so,
You can actually, you know, compare it to a flashlight being, you know, held against a table. So the lower you are, you know, the smaller the coverage
The
of the
beam,
light,
yes.
of the beam.
yes,
And then as you go up higher, you know, the beam, you know, or the footprint actually becomes wider. That's
yes.
right.
And so your coverage is wider, so you can afford to just use one satellite as against more satellites with smaller coverages.
That's correct.
All right. And if you're anywhere within this beam or this footprint, as you call it, you can make calls and you can be called
That's right.
by any kind of phone, landline, any other phone,
Yeah.
whether it be a smartphone or not.
Yeah, that's correct. And you can also make international calls to any destinations all over the world because our system is actually hooked up with or it's interconnected with PLDT.
Okay.
So we can make a 00 call, an international IDD call, using the satellite.
As
to
long as you're
anywhere.
within that footprint.
That's right. That's
All right.
correct.
And this footprint covers the entire Asia.
That's right. The footprint actually extends from China, Japan. It goes further down east or west rather to the Indian subcontinent covering Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And it goes down to Indonesia and Papua New Guinea.
And basically, one call from using, of course, obviously when you use the GSM mode, you'll be charged GSM rates, right?
That's right.
But if you use your satellite phone or the satellite mode, what kind of rates are we looking at?
Well, if you make a satellite call to anywhere in the Philippines, you will be charged a flat rate.
Oh,
Right now, it's in the vicinity of about 40 US cents
like
per
an
minute.
IDD call.
Yeah, very similar to an IDD call.
Yeah.
That would translate to about 20 pesos
Yeah.
or 90 pesos per minute.
Very affordable.
I think that's affordable enough for a satellite call.
But that's a call. If you make a call within the Philippines or within the footprint.
That's right.
Even from Philippines to say India or from the Philippines to Pakistan.
Well, if you're using the satellite mode
Yeah.
and you want to call India, that's already IDD.
Okay. So IDD rates apply.
So the advantage of this is that, well, let's say, compared to conventional roaming on GSM, let's say if you're going to be charged 40 cents. Let's say if I'm in Singapore,
Yes.
I use my satellite phone to call the Philippines. It's just a flat rate of 40 cents.
Okay, I see. So
That's also one area of savings where you can actually
a lot
utilize
of for the businessmen who travel a lot, especially to areas within Asia,
it. Yeah,
then this is going to be a good investment for them.
yeah, I think so.
And speaking of investment, how much would the handset cost?
Well, right now we have not yet pegged the commercial price at the moment, but we see it coming below $800 at least.
That's approximately in pesos. 40.
About 39,700 or 800, below 40,000 pesos.
And you brought us a sample
Yeah, I did.
phone. This is an Ericsson phone. Maybe we can show this on camera. This is an Ericsson phone, and it's an R190. This is the only one model. Pretty, it matches my blouse. All right. And this is the antenna you use when. This is the antenna you use when you have when you're using the GSM mode.
That's right.
But you have to change this to use the satellite mode.
Actually, it comes with two antennas.
Okay.
The antenna you see right here is the GSM dedicated antenna.
Okay.
So if you're in the city,
Yeah.
just using your phone as a GSM phone, then you can use this because you don't want to have a bulky equipment. You can see here that I brought the GSM and satellite antenna in one. This is actually a dual mode antenna.
Okay.
It will function.
If you feel like looking at like an appliance, it's okay to use this even as for the GSM mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will function on both GSM and satellite mode.
Okay.
And I think if I may add, the beauty of this system right now is that we only use, the reason why we chose GSM is because we have the capability now to use just one SIM card, one number for both modes.
So, for example, existing smartphone subscribers will be able to, if they buy the phone, then they'll be able to automatically use the satellite.
That's right. They will have the convenience of not letting their friends know of a new number, so they don't need to change their numbers.
And wherever they are, they can be called.
That's right.
As long as they have their sat phone.
That's correct.
May I show them? So this is when it's this way, can it be used as a GSM? When it's closed, can it be used as a GSM phone?
It can pick up GSM signals.
Okay.
However, the proper way of doing it is you have to lift the antenna when you want to make a call, and then you dial.
Okay.
And then just use it as an ordinary phone.
Ordinary phone. And of course, another concern of cell phone users right now is radiation. Would the radiation for a sat phone like this be much higher or comparable to an ordinary GSM phone?
I think comparing it to an ordinary GSM phone, it's a bit higher.
Okay.
However, this system being manufactured by Ericsson, a very reputable European company, they actually tuned the power to levels that are really acceptable in terms of radiation. That's the one major concern.
And it's not very heavy.
It only weighs about 210 grams compared to the previous satellite phones, which is about half a kilo, about 500 grams.
It's like lugging around the laptop all the time.
It's practically, yeah.
But can it support, speaking of laptops, can it support data?
Right now, we can support up to 2400 BPS data.
Not very fast, but...
However, there is already a memorandum of understanding or agreement signed up by ASUS with, I think, NERA Communications to develop medium-rate data speeds that can go internet acceptable rates.
Is a European firm.
That's right.
Okay, and when you say acceptable rates, rates now being used in ordinary GSM phones?
Yeah, like 33.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, what are the other developments in the industry, or at least for ASUS sat phones, that we can look forward to in the future? Are you looking at supporting, say, 3G technology?
Well, in terms of technology, that's the direction ASUS is taking right now. First, I think it's GPRS.
Yes.
And 3G is actually because right now
the target, yes. GPRS.
Mobile communication development is going towards content. Providing content to the user. And I think ASUS is not an exception to this fact. And we're eyeing to go there. That's the reason why we're signing up the agreement we've signed up the agreement with NERA Communications.
Are there other handsets in the offing for your service?
Well, we only have one model in the meantime. It's the Ericsson R190 satellite.
Okay.
However, if you look back several years back when the GSM phone started, it was the same story.
Yes.
However, when it was highly proliferated already in the market, then it's a supply and demand thing. So if there's demand for the phone, then more suppliers will actually, we hope to have some suppliers give us better phones, lighter phones, and more affordable phones.
And finally, the objective actually, or the point of having a mobile phone is convenience and being able to communicate with people at any time. And of course, having a satellite phone would enhance this ability. But how reliable is the service?
Well, it's pretty reliable. We have actually, ASUS has been there since 1995, designing the satellite up to this point where we're commercially launching it. It took us about 4.5 to 5 years to do that.
Okay.
And I think with the rigid test that has been underway since then, it's actually giving us the assurance that we have a good quality service.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing with us your new technology this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tupi.
We've been speaking with Mr. Mark Carluan, who is the marketing director of ASUS Philippines, and he has been giving us an insider's look at mobile satellite communications on this morning's Tech Talk. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on anything you have seen or heard of today's program, please let us know. Write us via email. Our address is stockmarket@skyinet.net, or send us a letter. Mail that to Stock Market Live, ABS-CBN Compound, number 41, South Borromeo Street, Quezon City, or fax us. Our number is 412-4948. The physics is still losing ground. It is down by 22.72 or 1.53% at 1466.07. The all shares is also in the red by 8 points at 740.09. The details when we return. Don't go away.